Is it okay to rely on AI to defend yourself in a DUI? This is Christina Williams with Just Criminal Law.
And David Mann, legal storytelling specialist. So everybody's using AI for everything. Everybody's using ChatGPT for everything. I guess it makes sense that someone might think, well, I'll just look up the laws and defend myself. But you're saying that's probably not a good idea?
Well, I posed the question to ChatGPT as well. And surprisingly, ChatGPT also cautioned the user from relying on them for legal advice. And that's a very smart thing to do. You should not rely on AI in your defense of a crime.
What can go wrong?
Oh my gosh, what can't go wrong? I mean, everything can go wrong. And on this particular example that ChatGPT gave me, it was, Miss Smith was accused of a DUI, and she thought, I'm just going to go to ChatGPT and ask for its legal advice on what I should do to file a motion in my DUI case. And in that particular scenario, she thought, well, I didn't get my Miranda rights read to me during the DUI investigation, so I'm just going to file a motion and ask the judge to dismiss my case because this investigation happened without me being Mirandized. And so she did just that.
Okay. And I'm going to guess that probably didn't go well for her. Is that right?
Right, because what she wasn't aware of is that in a DUI investigation, you are not going to be Mirandized. That is, it's an investigation. And what ChatGPT and Ms. Smith didn't understand is that Miranda only kicks in once you've been arrested. And it does not apply to when you go to the police station and the officer asks you to take a breath test or submit a blood sample, even though that's, technically the investigation is over because the arrest is made. So you're not entitled to Miranda even then because you and your driver's license issuing state have made an agreement that if you're suspected of DUI, you'll submit to a test. That's just an implied consent that everybody finds themselves in when they get a driver's license. So she mistakenly believed that she could get her breath test results suppressed and required the prosecutor to show up with the law enforcement officer at the motion hearing and be prepared to address what would be called a frivolous motion, which also doesn't necessarily always make the judge happy.
Okay, so she does all this based on, asking ChatGPT what to do. And she's got the wrong information. And then what happens to her?
Well, at this point in time, the prosecutor is not willing to give her a good deal, not willing to give her maybe the benefit that she could have gotten if she had an attorney try to negotiate a plea deal or look at her case for issues. Maybe there was a different issue she could have pursued. There's so many different parts of a DUI investigation that an attorney can review and potentially help you with getting some evidence suppressed or, potentially talking to the prosecutor about, hey, it's iffy here. What happened during this investigation? Can you give us a good deal, maybe some sort of deferred prosecution where my client can go on probation for a while, and then if she does everything and obeys all the laws, we can dismiss this case. So she basically forfeited this ability for an attorney to negotiate a better deal for her, to maybe keep her record clean, and certainly, end up in a better position than she did by consulting ChatGPT.
So she ended up with a DUI on her record?
Yes. In that scenario, she had a DUI on her record. She didn't get any sort of special treatment. And, also she didn't have an attorney there to help advise her on what to do with her license because you can actually stay valid to drive even though the state will take your license. There's ways around that. So she didn't get the benefit of any of that as far as having an attorney advisor.
Well, it may have been, I suppose, cheaper for her to ask ChatGPT, but in the end, it was far more expensive than if she had just hired a lawyer. You have thousands and thousands of DUIs on your history, so if someone needs an expert in that, they should call you. And how do they do that?
Sure, we'll include a link in the description where they can call, text, or chat with a member of my team anytime, day or night. Here at Just Criminal Law, we know you only get one shot at justice, so make yours count.